ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Power Vacuum. I'm your host, Belmont, and I'm coming at you with a little impromptu review. Wasn't planning on doing this, but I just had to talk about this movie. I know it's a little late, but I just went and saw Beetlejuice, just got out of the theaters moments ago, or minutes ago, and I gotta say, this movie was kind of a letdown. I think it was probably a 5 out of 10. And I kind of didn't enjoy it. I didn't hate it as much as some of the people I went with. I went with one person, and she didn't like it at all. She may have even downright hated it. But this movie is a pale imitation of the original movie. And I have no idea what it was even about, really. It was all over the place. So spoiler warnings for those out there. But the premise of this movie is that, it's in the future. They all got to get together because Lydia's dad died. And they go back to the hometown where she grew up in the ghost house with the... I can't even remember their name. The Mateo. I gotta look it up real quick. Hang on. Maitlands. The Maitland ghosts, the original couple from the first one that were ghosts, have loopholed themselves out so they don't have to haunt their house for 125 years or 150 years, whatever the timeline was. I don't remember the exact date. It was something like that. But basically the premise is Lydia's daughter doesn't believe in ghosts but ends up meeting one. And then he's like, I need your help to come back to life, and you can go see your dad, who's also dead, because, I guess there can't be any living dads in this. And it turns out he's tricking her so he can steal her soul and come back alive, and she gets to go to the afterlife. Lydia finds out, so she agrees to marry Beetlejuice to get into the afterworld, or whatever it is, ghost world, so she can save her daughter. And there's this side plot with Beetlejuice's first wife, who's a soul sucker, who's running around trying to find Beetlejuice because his soul belongs to her, because they were married and she poisoned him. And before he died, he chopped her up with an axe, and it was ridiculous. The storyline had almost no substance, that side B story, and every time she was on screen, the Dolores, I don't remember the actress's name, it's the lady that's stapled back together, she's on screen for a total of maybe 8 minutes. Beetlejuice only has 17 minutes of screen time. I looked it up right after, as soon as the credits started rolling, because I was felt like he was in this movie less than the first, and it's not, percentage-wise it is. He's in the same amount of runtime as the original, and apparently that was requested by Michael Keaton, that he wanted his character Beetlejuice to not be the star in the way he wasn't the star before, where he has a very limited role and screen time, and that's what he got. That's what he requested. That's what they gave him. But this movie's longer, so it feels like he's in the movie even less than the original. But his wife, Dolores, the original wife, I should say, when she first comes out, she's missing her ring finger on her left hand. And I was like, oh, because, Beetlejuice had it in the ring box with the ring still on it. But then it just shows up anyway. And I was like, well, wait, that would have been a great plot point or a great thing to have throughout the movie if you were going to tie this to Beetlejuice. But, her ring finger just shows up, and it was nearby, so I guess it wasn't with Beetlejuice. But it was just a convoluted mess. The daughter's story didn't really make sense because she's just supposed to be smart, but then stupid for no reason when it comes to this guy. Lydia's story is that she can see ghosts, but only some ghosts. She can't see her dead husband. at all, even though he shows up later when they're in the afterworld and says that he's been visiting them. And I'm like, none of this makes sense. Like, I gave it a 5 because there were a few parts where I chuckled. There were a few, like Danny DeVito's got a little cameo, and when he first like gets his soul sucked, it's kind of funny because they drop like a little Danny DeVito skin. And there were very few moments in this. I got a couple chuckles out of it. When Delia Dietz dies, she gets tricked into buying 2 asp that are supposed to be defanged, but they're not. So she gets bit by them and dies. And it's kind of stupid. But I was like, I saw this coming, and it was kind of funny to me. Just because, you know, you got to be dumb to hold poisonous snakes up to your neck. Even, I don't know, just dumb. I don't know if this movie canonizes the cartoon because Lydia knows what sandworms are, even though she's never seen them or been to Saturn. I guess you could explain that as the Maitlands explaining to her what sandworms are while they were still alive, or while they were still ghosts in the house she was living in. There's another subplot with like a man trying to marry Lydia that's just like obviously something shifty with him, and he's just trying to marry her for her money because she's a famous like TV show person that has a show about her talking to ghosts. And it just feels like all the good directors from when I was younger are losing their touch. James Cameron losing his touch. You know, Ridley Scott losing his touch. Tim Burton losing his touch. I'm just trying to think, are there like you know, the only person that's really making great movies from when I was young, I mean, Scorsese losing his touch. But that was misleading. It sounded like I was going to say he's the only person. I cut myself off. Is Wes Anderson, and not Paul Wes Anderson. I'm not talking about those shitty Mila Jovovich masturbation flicks where he just puts his wife, who is Mila Jovovich, in every movie he makes. Resident Evil, Ultraviolet, fucking, what was that other one? Monster Hunter. I don't think he did Ultraviolet. I take that one back. But he put her in Monster Hunter, which was a horrible movie, by the way. But I'm talking about Wes Anderson, like art house film style. What was it? You know, The French Dispatch, Asteroid City, The Grand Budapest Hotel. One of my favorite movies. Movie's a delight, beginning to end. Seems like he's the only guy still making stuff that actually like is true to who he is, and still has that same level of entertainment value and writing quality to this day. Where everyone else that I mentioned, you know, they've just fallen by the wayside. They've forgotten who they were, or they've given up on their style. I'm not sure which, but this movie wasn't that great, and I just had to like write a review about it. The Sandworm popcorn bucket was sold out because it seems like popcorn buckets are single-handedly saving the movie industry. I guess the best thing about the movie was this thing that I got. This little, look at this guy. Little Beetlejuice tombstone. Right? It's kind of cool. I like it. This right here lights up. If I can get it to light up. I was like, oh, I saw it on the counter and I was like, I want this. And the person I was with was like, I don't think they sell those. And the girl was like, yeah, there's a table over there full of them. And they're like $35. And I was like, it seems kind of pricey, but I like it. I want it. So we got it. And yeah, that was the best part about the movie. Getting this little tombstone for Beetlejuice's grave. That's exactly like the model from the original movie. But yeah, 5 out of 10. Real disappointing. Kind of sad that Tim Burton's gotten this way, but it is what it is. And that's all I have for this video. Belmont out.